Guys, so yesterday, sadly, we ended up losing a chicken, and the story is probably the most interesting story of a chicken I've ever lost, like ever. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you the story of this chicken and how it went from start to finish. So this all begins at around maybe 3:15 p.m. yesterday. I get home from the gym, I put my bag down on the counter, not on the counter, I don't do that, I put it on the chair first. And then I immediately went into my bedroom to begin working on some videos on one of my channels. I opened up the window abruptly to let in some fresh air because my room has an air freshener and it can get really intense at some point. So sometimes you just need to open up that window to get a nice scent of the beautiful fresh air outside. And then about 5 minutes into my deep work session with editing a video, I heard a strange noise outside that really caught my attention. I'll show you what that is right now. So I hear that noise. It's kind of hard to describe. It sounded like a chicken that was in pain, but I couldn't really tell exactly what it was. Either way, I don't want to be taking any chances over here. So I see that, and I just run out that front door, and immediately I just literally book it over the chicken yard, like I do every single time. And the sight was very apocalyptic, to say the least. The first thing I saw was that my chicken Loudmouth, who's currently in the coop right now, was running across here with Rogue following close behind her. The next thing I saw was that right here in this area, I saw T-Rexa lying down. I thought she was sunbathing because it was a pretty sunny day yesterday. I also noted that right here at the edge of the yard, I saw my chicken, Croissant, and right here at the behind the yard, I saw Summer. And here's the interesting thing. Summer never leaves the yard unless something serious is happening. So if Summer leaves the yard, that means there is seriously something wrong out there. And I'm like, yeah, someone got attacked out here. But I count all 9, so I'm very confused as to who this was and why all these chickens are playing dead. And the truth will shock you. The first thing that I did was I assessed the situation and looked for a cause. I couldn't tell who it was, and this session would last about 5 seconds while I looked around the yard. But at that very moment, I saw something fly out of here. Something small, with a wingspan maybe of about 39 or 40 inches, which for comparison, a red-tailed hawk is a lot bigger than that. It had a black and white tail. It looked like a hawk to me, but not a fully grown red tail. Red-tailed hawks have a signature red tail that you could see, even if it's all the way up by those clouds over there. Now here is what really intrigued me. I couldn't really necessarily tell why this was happening. So I run over here, and I look for the start of a possible path of feathers. I look right here, and yep, you might be able to see them, right? A little bit right there. So based on this information, I can conclude that the hawk, a sharp-shinned hawk, not a red tail, but a sharp-shinned hawk, was chilling over here somewhere, and he saw the chickens. He's seen them before. He's spied on them before, but he's never actually tried to make them move. This time around, he grabbed T-Rexa. And the force that a hawk has is obviously really big because hawks are birds of prey. And if you don't know anything about birds of prey, their grip strength is ridiculous. I've never been attacked by one, but I've went to shows where I get to see these animals, and it is crazy to say the least. These animals have an incredible grip strength. So if a chicken is under the grip strength of even this just a small sharp-shinned hawk, it's still going to cause a lot of issues. See, if the chicken was pushed down, that would be the best case scenario, because that would mean she broke her leg, which is actually a treatable injury if only one of her legs are broken. Sometimes even if both of her legs are just fractured, we can still treat it. But I didn't know who this was. I thought this was maybe Croissant. That's why she was lying over there. But as soon as I went over there to try to pet her, she ran away. I tried to pet Summer, who does not like being pet, and she didn't run away. That's when I realized something was truly wrong in this flock. And that's when I see T-Rexa just laying right here in this area right here, motionless, looking like she definitely got injured. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick you up, little buddy. I noted regular breathing from her and the other chickens. I did note some blood on top of Summer's beak. So now we have a culprit, a sharp-shinned hawk, a decent-sized one too. And on top of that, I noted that there was possibly multiple targets. My chicken Croissant, Summer, and also possibly this chicken, T-Rexa. I pick her up, I'm like, yeah, she's the injured one. She's the target. Her feathers properly match the ones I saw start over there. The first thing that I do is I run into the bedroom, into my studio, right? With my chicken. This chicken got to see what the chicken setup looks like for her first time, which I guess is a dream of that chicken. And I call the vet hospital. And thankfully, we have family ties to people who work there. In fact, my mom works at a vet hospital, so I was able to obviously be able to call the vet hospital and say, yo, my chicken's injured. Can I bring her here? And of course, they're like, yeah, bring the chicken over, right? And so I get a ride. I put the chicken in a cat carrier because it's big enough to hold a chicken, and we throw her into the truck and we leave. And here's what happened next. After we sent her to the hospital, I had no clue what to expect. It was either that this chicken was just over exaggerating it and that she was going to be just fine and she was going to leave the hospital by that night. Maybe in a little bit of a, maybe still have a little bit of a signature limp, but she'd be all right. Or the second case scenario is that this is a fatal injury that is not treatable, meaning she has to get put down. Now, the next thing I see is a call on my phone, and I see it's from the vet hospital. And they say, yo, we got some news to inform you about. And I'm like, all right, tell me, what's this news to inform me about? And they're like, T-Rexa has died. We put her down because her injuries were too untreatable. Her injuries consisted of a broken hip bone and a ton of fractured backbones. This was not good. I asked about the leg and they said her legs were looking pretty decent. It was that her back couldn't be supported anymore. So she couldn't walk around because, like us, chickens kind of need their back to be able to walk around. And I noticed that and I'm like, yeah, that sucks, you know? And so obviously we get the ashes a couple hours later and they're currently chilling up in my studio right now. I'm probably gonna end up burying them or giving them away to a family member who values this chicken a lot. Because yes, I value this chicken, but my shelves are small and I don't really have a lot of room for this humongous jar because keep in mind, this chicken's 8 pounds. This chicken isn't small, it's a little ISA brown. She's massive. So the jar is pretty big too. And well, right now she's still on my desk. The chicken is hopefully going to be looking down at me recording this video and saying, yo, thanks for the video, bro. You know, this chicken was not very friendly in life, but she at least had some accomplishments. Like she was one of the few chickens I noted laying eggs. Now that basically means we're truly down to 2020 numbers in this farm flock. 8, not farm flock, pet flock, 8 chickens are in this flock. And what I've noticed is that when a chicken dies in this flock, something similar is bound to happen in that flock. I counted everybody today about 5 minutes before I recorded this video, so thankfully it wasn't today. But I'm hoping that when I come home from the gym tomorrow, that all my chickens will be alive and well and say, great job, because tomorrow was leg day, you know? Gotta have some chickens out there for support. And by the way, if you want to support, go down below and click the like and subscribe button. This isn't going to be one of those situations where like, oh, I'm gonna need donations for this. No, I don't. It's a chicken. This chicken isn't really gonna have like a funeral service or anything like that, so nothing crazy is gonna happen. Be sure to leave a comment and click the video on the screen right now. These types of serious videos are very uncommon here, but I will assure you that my pet flock chickens and even now farm flock chickens are highly valued. And as of right now, a baby farm flock is moving outside very soon. More updates to come for this month and some crazy videos planned starting this weekend. My webcam is now fully ready to begin live streaming, and I might even just make my debut stream tomorrow. So I'll see you then.